North London derby then this weekend. Arsenal taking on Spurs. Arsenal currently third, Spurs sitting in seventh after that surprise defeat at home against Newcastle. Craig Burley, what do you want to say about this game?
Well, for the second week in a row, and I was wrong last week because they got pummeled a little bit at Liverpool, I've got a hunch that Arsenal, particularly at home against a stalling Tottenham side, can do the job. Depending on what Unai Emery does with team selection, you know, how they're going to fit Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang is Lacazette on the bench again. How does he fit Ceballos in again after last week's performance where they got overrun in the middle of the park? You know, David Luiz, you know, he cuts out the silly mistakes, then they've got half a chance.
Does this work for you, this 11?
Kieran Tierney, the new signing, is quite a bit away. I don't think that's a disaster. I would probably maybe Torreira in the side, potentially, rather than Guendouzi, but it's just my opinion. But if you want to get the three guys in, then yeah, that
works.
I don't think that's a bad side at all going forward. I've always got a headache around the defending in the back four.
Sure.
We know they have players to come back, Bellerin and Tierney. Tierney's a wee bit away of making his debut. But I don't think Tottenham have been great at all. You know, they dominated the game last week against Newcastle, 80% possession, but didn't get the job done. They got hammered really at Man City and got a draw. And they were behind against Villa match day one until Eriksen came on. So I'm saying Arsenal to win the North London derby.
Gab, what's wrong with Spurs?
Well, Pochettino himself said that there's a ton of things going on. Some of them we could probably surmise. Obviously, the contractual situation with Christian Eriksen isn't helping. I can only assume that there's something going on with Jan Vertonghen as well, because it seems bizarre to me that the guy who was Spurs' vice captain a year ago isn't starting or hasn't started thus far. Obviously, the injuries to Dele Alli and Ndombele don't help either. All these things coming together, Lo Celso not being fully fit yet, apparently. All these things coming together, wrong place, wrong time, plus he gets his tactics wrong against Newcastle. All these things, I think, explain why Tottenham are where they are.
It's been a strange 2019 for Spurs. Even when results have gone their way, I don't think their performances have been all that great, and there's been a certain amount of fortune to those good results. The fact is, this is still a very good Spurs team. But for me, coming up against Arsenal, especially at home, Pochettino has got to play Alderweireld and Christian Eriksen. For the life of me, I don't understand. It has to be a business decision to leave those two out. I thought Davinson Sanchez didn't cover himself in a whole lot of glory last week against Newcastle. And if Arsenal play a front three and have everybody else sit, maybe not to the extent that Newcastle did, I think Spurs show that they struggle to break teams down.
Quick picks then. Gab, who have you got?
I'm going to go Arsenal, 1-0.
Oh, Craig, you went Arsenal last week, as you mentioned.
For a draw.
Pardon?
For a draw.
Did you go for a draw last week?
Yeah, I didn't go at Arsenal win at Liverpool.
I thought you said they were going to win at Anfield.
No, I didn't. Always a tight game, but depending on team selection, I think Arsenal have got enough firepower going forward.